G'day and welcome to iCultivate. My name's Steve. Today we're going to be having a look at planting and growing rhubarb. Now this is not a great example at the moment, but I'll come back to that a little bit later in the video. So we're going to be looking at exactly what is rhubarb, how you plant it, how you harvest it, the sort of soil conditions that it requires, and why this one has gone to flower like this. But make sure that you stay right through to the end, where I'm going to give you 3 pro tips about how to grow rhubarb and get a fantastic harvest, and hopefully not get your rhubarb going to flower like this one. So let's get straight into it and have a look at exactly what is rhubarb. But please enjoy the old footage, because obviously some time has passed since I took this footage. This is my rhubarb crop. As a perennial, I have it growing in an area that is away from my bed rotation area, because rhubarb is a plant that can go for anywhere from 10 to 20 years. So it's not something that you're going to be rotating around with your other vegetables. It is a perennial plant that you can grow from either seed, seedling, or in fact by crowns that you can then plant. I've got rhubarb here that I've grown from both seedling and crowns. This one over here, which you can see with the rich red stalks, is an example of one which I've grown from a crown. Whereas the one directly behind me here is an example of one which I've grown from seedling. Irrespective of whether you grow rhubarb from seed, seedling or crown, it is in fact a plant that likes rich soil, well-drained soil, soil that is well manured. And you can see in here, I've actually got quite a bit of manure. And I like cow manure and horse manure to use with most of my plantings. When planting rhubarb, you need to be very mindful of the sort of conditions that you're planting it in too. It's not a plant that likes very hot weather. In fact, it produces best in conditions that are quite cool. However, it will tolerate reasonably warm weather, and as long as you look after it and make sure that it receives adequate moisture, you should have some success. Hey, if you're looking for more information about how to grow rhubarb, go to our website icultivate.net and you will find a complete guide here on how to grow rhubarb. And while you're there, have a bit of a sticky beak around, because what you will see on our website is, of course, a lot of gardening articles, a lot of information, places where you can ask questions, and you will even be able to join the community, and you can see here a real community, bit of vibe, I suppose, places where people ask questions and get answers to the questions they have about gardening. So go to icultivate.net and have a bit of a look around. Okay, so you've now seen that rhubarb really requires a really good organic mix of soil, making sure that you really get that compost and so on in there and giving it a really rich soil to grow in. Let's now go on and have a look at how do you harvest the rhubarb for your kitchen. When harvesting rhubarb, it's very important to remember not to cut the stalk. It's important that what you do is you hold firmly at the base of the stalk, twist and pull. If you do cut the stalk, what you can leave is an area that can collect water. And one of the few things that rhubarb is in fact susceptible to is crown rot. So you want to avoid allowing water to collect around the crown at all costs. So remember, don't cut the stalk, make sure that you pull the stalk from the crown. It is very important to remember that you cannot eat the leaf. The leaf is very high in oxalic acid, and eating too much oxalic acid can in fact make you sick. The best thing that you can do with this leaf is to simply add it to your compost. Don't even feed it to your chickens, because your chickens, too much oxalic acid is not good for them either. So once you have trimmed your particular rhubarb stalk, simply remove the leaf, remove down the bottom, and there's your beautiful rhubarb stalk ready for cooking in your particular recipe. Now make sure that you follow those instructions about pulling and twisting the rhubarb stalk when harvesting. Remember, if you just simply cut off the rhubarb stalk, you're going to create little wells of water that can induce rot in your rhubarb crown. So don't forget to pull and twist the rhubarb stalk. So the main things to remember about this beautiful perennial vegetable is that you need to make sure that you keep it away from extreme heat. You need to make sure that it has sufficient moisture, although it will tolerate a little bit of dry. And the best soil conditions for it to grow in is slightly acidic soil, soil that is well drained, and soil that is well manured. So during this video, you have probably been intrigued as to exactly why has this rhubarb plant of ours gone to flower like this. Well, we've been away for an extended period of time, and this is how it was when we came back just one day ago. The problem is that in our location, there has been some recent significant climate issues. First of all, only 4 weeks ago, this was covered in snow. And today we have had 33 degrees. So there has been some significant climate temperature changes over that short period of time. And this puts the rhubarb under stress. So there are several reasons why a rhubarb plant will go to flower like this, but the most significant is stress. When the plant feels stress, it sort of has this response to survive and to kick on and to reproduce. And so therefore, of course, plant reproduction is about producing flowers and seeds. So when this plant feels under stress, it causes it to push out a flower stalk, and then ultimately that means seeds that will then ultimately mean new rhubarb plants. So the secret to ensuring that your rhubarb does not go to flower is to try as best as you can to ensure that it does not get under stress. But given that this one has, what do I now do? Well, the answer to the question is I need to remove this flower stalk, because what I need you to understand, or what you do need to understand, is that there's been a massive amount of energy gone into the producing of this flower stalk by the rhubarb plant. A massive amount of energy that would have otherwise gone into producing new rhubarb leaves and stalks, the bit that we really want. Can you imagine how many rhubarb leaves and stems we would have had if this had not happened and all of the energy that went into this flower stalk had gone into rhubarb stems and leaves? So as mentioned, what we now need to do is to remove this flower stalk, but it's important to remove it as low as possible. And you can see another flower stalk here that I'm going to remove as well. So a nice sharp knife. And there we have it. Now you can see that this flower stalk is actually hollow, and what this means is that if I do not cut it as low as possible, what I'm creating is a place where water can accumulate and stay, and this can lead to the crown of the rhubarb plant rotting. So I really need to cut this flower stalk as low as possible. So as you can see, we've now got that rhubarb flower removed. Now something that is really important to understand is that the rhubarb plant, the rhubarb crown, has put a lot of energy into the producing of that rhubarb flower. We now need to give it the opportunity to recuperate and to build its reserves back up. So the last thing that you need to do now is to harvest any new stalks that come up, any new leaves. It really is important now, leave it for a season. Allow it to recuperate. Do not pick any of the stalks or stems or leaves that are produced from this point in time. If we had been here when this rhubarb flower was produced, I would have cut it off immediately, because the last thing I want is for that rhubarb crown to be putting all of that energy into the flower, and you saw where it ended up. Don't let your rhubarb do what this rhubarb did. I'm sure this is going to be fine, but I do now need to give it an entire season to recover. Okay, so to reward those of you who have stuck around and got to this point in the video, I'm now going to give you 3 pro tips to ensure that you get a good result with your rhubarb. So pro tip number 1 is to make sure that you get the soil right. Remember, rhubarb is a heavy feeder, and so you do need to have a really good base of organic matter mixed in with the soil when you plant your crown originally. And then make sure that you do compost and fertilise regularly. And pro tip number 2 is make sure that you divide your rhubarb crown every 4 or 5 years. Not dividing it can lead to the crown itself aging a lot more, feeling more stressed and generating these flowers. So make sure you divide it, and the divided crown will be tricked into thinking that it's a young one and it will behave like a young crown. So divide every 4 or 5 years. And pro tip number 3 is don't strip your plant bare. Make sure that when you do come and harvest your rhubarb stalks that you only take what you need and never leave it bare, because ultimately the rhubarb plant needs to photosynthesize, it needs to put energy down into the crown, and it needs to grow, obviously. So do not strip it bare. Always leave a good number of stalks on the actual rhubarb plant itself. So I hope you've enjoyed this video about growing, harvesting and looking after rhubarb plants. Can I ask you please to go down to the thumbs up and give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget, go to our website iCultivate.net and become a member of the community. Thanks for watching.